Hey, you. Alexander just asked me to hold this for him. He found it along the way yesterday. It's another story. Let me try and stay on point. Hello, there you are. I see you. I see you. Daddy, come with you. Times I miss the opportunity to go live, and so I take it when I can sometimes. And today I felt like talking about a little bit about how it feels to be forsaken, to be set aside by those you care about, those who care about you. Forsaken, not forgotten, but in a forest of truth. Because, there's no one truth that kind of, along this journey, there's no one truth that trumps them all. Trumps, that bests them all. Perhaps other than some truth about our divinity, but I'm not sure that we know that truth. But the truth of, the multitude, take your pick in this forest of truths or trees. Each one of them could tell us a story, I'm sure, that would be a mind blower all by itself. And I'm consciously look at that. Well, you can't. Yeah, that's just amazing. We've built up. It's Sunday. Hello, it's Sunday. It's a misty day, actually, very cloudy. Well, quite heavy cloud, and it was misty earlier. Very dramatic kind of weather, very intense kind of weather, new moon weather. We often have clouds over the new moon. It's interesting, hey? It's one of those things that, anyway, the moon is another complex and complicated conversation for some, anyway. And her influence and effect and position and placement and so on. Yes? Which way we want to go? That way. All right. What have you found, Alexander? What's that? Just found a tissue paper. You want to throw it away in the bin? Where's the bin? Oh, there's a bin all the way up that way or that way. We'll go that way. We'll go and find a bin. There it is. Again, he's not yet 2 years old, so this ain't scripted. This little boy is take that out. You did it. Well done, Alexander. Thank you for tidying up the litter, the rubbish in the forest. It's good to take care of our nature. I hope you can hear some of the bird song in this forest. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This forest hides an interesting history. It's been given to the local authority by the previous owner, but yeah, it smacks of that sort of Tartarian type history. Not that I want to go too deeply into that, because it's a mixed minefield, guys, and I'm of the view that a lot of what's attracting my attention and keeping my mind busy is still the wow, that's good step climbing. That's fantastic. That's good step climbing, Alexander. Oh, some more rubbish. Need more rubbish? Where's the bin? There's a bin over there, darling, in the corner. Come with me, I'll show you. Come. Come. There's a bin over here. in the corner. There's a bowling alley here. Old man's marbles, we used to call it. This is a level pitch, by the way, but to the eye it can look a little bit curved, but it has to be level. I wanted to ask the guy who was mowing the other day if I could put my camera down and get him to walk off in the distance and see how perspective affected my experience. Hey Drew, how you going, brother? Thanks, Nathan. The grey in northern New York. Oh, look, yeah, it's super grey and super moody here. So I walk about in the enchanted forest saying, "Hey, Aussie drama, why don't you come this way, Alexander? We'll move away from the cars. Come with. Oh, you didn't put that in the bin, darling. Come. This is where the bin is. Up here. Up here. Up there. That's where it is." See, friends, I think that I was like, I still want to go back to Speaker's Corner, but I feel like, well, am I contributing to the argument? Am I contributing to the fight? Am I contributing to the dislike of one another, you know? And I'm kind of, moving along in this journey. It feels uncomfortable to me to be arguing with people I care about. Don't you want to put it in the bin, darling? No? Okay. We're just on the move right now. Give me a second. I there's people I know, Dave from Zoom Truth comes to mind, who want to, and I'm quoting him, they want to sort of, gather a posse together and make some kind of statements and make some kind of action or something. I don't think he said what he wants to do with that gang, so I'm not going to try and put words into his mouth, but this is the thing with gangs, is they're intended to create some action, and any kind of action is going to only cause an opposite reaction. That's one of the laws of physics I still kind of agree with. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Damn, that little boy's so quick now. You're so quick. Come on. Yeah, you want to go this way? Sure. Oh man, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm so grateful. So grateful for this little boy. And my family, my older children too, I don't want this to seem like, they're not significant, but I know who and what we are so much more now. So much more. And do I want this little boy to come into the kind of Darwinian kind of dog-eat-dog paradigm that we exist in? No, absolutely do not. Do I know that he has to encounter it? He's come here to have a journey, just like all of us, to learn. Oh, you got sticks. Thank you, darling. Wow, that's cool. Thank you so much. I got 2 sticks now. There we go. Sticks. We allow him to watch something on the internet called on YouTube called Guess How Much I Love You. It's a story about a rabbit and his father, and they're forest friends, and they collect sticks and leaves, and it's really innocent fun. And the other day, a moment of kind of elapsed judgment, he's not yet 2, and I thought, oh, maybe he'd fancy like seeing something a bit different. He gets a little bit of TV time or computer time like that. We don't have any sort of mainstream TV in the house, but that he has watched. And so I was like, we still got a subscription to Netflix. Don't ask me why, but we do. And I put on the Bee Movie, and within 5 minutes he was sobbing. He was frightened as I can't tell you, and I felt terrible. I didn't even think I'd be able to admit that on this channel, because it's you know, I felt awful for having put him through that, you know, and it was such a lesson. You want these sticks, or am I coming with you? I'm not moving fast enough, perhaps. Yeah. But but you know, Andrew and I were talking about it this morning. You know, the truth is that he is actually going to have to, he is here to experience that. He's not here for us to hide him away like some zealot kind of religious sect, you know, and protect him from all the, let's call them the evils or the ills of this world, because that is what this world is, and that is what our challenge is to come here, go see the Sodom and Gomorrah. Yes, darling, okay, I'm going this way. See the Sodom and Gomorrah of this place and experience it, taste it for yourself, and then choose to walk the higher path. I think that in a nutshell sort of sums up the purpose of this here, you know. And it doesn't mean that I want to see it continue to be such a... Do you want this ball, darling? Yeah, it's fine. I think I'm live again. Yes. Yes, I am. Sorry about the interruptions in service. My internet, my what do they call them? Satellite provider is having a little difficulty reaching through these clouds. Actually, there's a 4G mast not too far from us, so but it's on the other side of this forest. It's on the long way through this forest, so it might be why I'm having signal issues. I'm not sure if there's one on this side of the forest or close by. Hey ho, did you catch that? Sorry, darling, I didn't mean to give you a start. Did you catch what I was saying about, I hope you did, about the purpose here? And it's not for me to tell anybody what pace their journey through this is to be, but I know if I keep squabbling with the system and I keep about false flags or, you know, events that are designed to kind of frighten everybody. And Daddy, jump on this too. Jump on the log. Okay. Wow. He's so competent and confident. Some guy just walked past me just before I went live and said, "Oh, is he the junior Bear Grylls?" And that's I don't know if my American friends will know that reference, but he's like Bear Grylls is a... Oh, you might do actually, because I think there's a famous clip of him and Barack Hussein Obama doing something together, and where Obama called his wife Michael. Michael and I would enjoy spending some time with you, or something like that, you know. So you might know Bear Grylls. He's kind of like an outdoorsman, you know, former SAS or something kind of dude. I think so. A lot of it's obviously staged, and a lot of it's designed to mislead people too. Anyway, how's it going? So I think, you know what? Wow, he moves the thorns out of the way as he walks past them. Yeah, okay. Now he's dragging me by the leg. Let me go forward first. There he is. The little junior Bear Grylls. Alexander the Small. Man, you know, I mean, we all hopefully get, not all of us do get that opportunity to have children, so I don't want to be over cooking it, but honestly, this is a real honor to be able to bring someone, some spirit, some fractal of the Most High Creator, whatever language we want to use for that, but to bring the fractal to being and to nurture it lovingly and you know, in the best way that we can. I mean, I think most of us try and do that anyway. But I know from my own, only speaking from my own experience of my own 3 children, that this enlightenment, which includes obviously flat Earth truth, or the truth that this is, or the idea that this is actually an electromagnetic, fractalized kind of reality, which we're decoding each for ourselves, and in which, you know, this materialist matter that we kind of cling to so dearly is actually just an illusion. You know, this tree here is solid to my touch, but it's actually an illusion of hardness. it's an illusion of solidity. In reality, it's just electrical impulses, waves, or vibration, or sound frequency, and we encode it as the tree and the leaf and the laughter and the sadness and the pain. And for some reason they want us to encode a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of anguish, a lot of distrust, mistrust. I was going to call this, I wanted to call this video Who's Watching You, or Who's Watching Who. You remember that song? That 1980s song, was it 1980s? Why did, how's it go? It always feels like somebody's watching you. Mind's playing tricks on you. Oh, it always feels like somebody's watching you. And they've created that sense that someone's always watching you. And they love to tell us in London this. If you visit London on a day, you'll get filmed 300 times by different cameras. Not only that, as you know, we very much feel like neighbors are twitching curtains, and we become very judgmental. And in a way, and I'm generalizing and I'm perhaps being unkind, but in a way we also become fairly narrow of mind, not generous of spirit and generous of mind. And again, I'm really picking on the worst side of us, not the best, because on the other side there is plenty of joy and plenty of love. Yeah. A flower? There's a flower, baby boy. Oh, we're not going to pick that one though. There's some more down there we can pick, okay? Well, we'll just pick one. Come, let's go down that way. Down the hill. We're going to find the tunnel. Yeah, that's a pretty flower. Daffodil. All right. You can have this one, okay? Remember, we can't take too many because we've got to leave some for the butterfly, okay? And the bees, so they can make the honey. Yeah. So we don't actually, we are generally, I think we're in a pretty sort of unwell state of being, actually. And I'm not sure, that that by trying to thrash everybody to death with the truth about this forest of truths that stand beneath most people who don't realize what's going on. I'm not sure that these people are ready to know the forest. It's been an ugly and unpleasant and saddening journey. Liberating, to be sure, but gosh. Oh, you found a pine cone, like the pineal gland in the center of your brain that nobody told me about until I was 46 years old. Maybe 45 years old before I first heard the words pineal gland. People know very little about the forest, and it really, really damages us. But hey, you know, I'm also damaged by that 45 years and 50 now years of materialist indoctrination, and it's hard for me to break from that, and it's hard for me to deal with the shadow rejection or the direct rejection of people I care about, and you know, obviously to kind of wander around now and be like, meet people, greet people and stuff, but go, you know, there's so little I can talk to them about. No, that's not true. That's not true. There is plenty that I can talk to them about, but in my heart, the stuff that I want to talk to them about, I can't talk to them about, because you can only maybe drop a few little, you can maybe show them a few of the smaller saplings and say, look, here's a little sapling of truth, and why don't you chew on that for a few weeks. I went to a play area a few months ago and dropped the Bart Chabrel video in a guy's lap and said, why don't you check out The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon? And I hadn't seen him again until last week. I happened to be in there, and wow, you've got 4 pine cones. Thank you, I'll keep them. Bags full of stuff, if I kept it all. It's just and the guy saw me in there and he avoided me like the plague. And you know, this has been happening to me now 4 years, you know, 4 years, maybe a little longer, that I've been spitting stuff at people that they don't really want to hear. Yeah, he's on the move again. I better put some pace on. Check this little boy out, he's going so fast. Up here is a really mysterious old house, but I have spoken about this previously, so I won't go back. But there must be a reason for it, eh? You know, we haven't been ostracized, we haven't been drawn to research this information so deeply for no good reason, you know, and to become this information and to feel the feelings of becoming this truthful kind of, you know, higher minded, I don't know what the right wordage to use is right now, but which way are we going? Can I carry you? Yeah. Yes. Where do you want to go? I get so many comments about this boy's hair. Let me carry you a little while. Come here. You don't want to be carried? Oh. Well. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on him right now, because we are by the road. But yeah, there's a reason for this. There's a reason for us being the people that we are, and having had the trials that we've had, the trials that we're having, and perhaps the trials we've yet to have, because we are... Do you want to go over the road? Do you want to cross the road? Okay, whoa, I'll carry you. Yeah? Yeah, we wait for the cars to come. Oh, you see there's still some cars coming that way. Ready? Here we go. Down and down. All right. We're going to walk down a hill that was just 50 years ago was a lake, and there was all forest around here, but it's all housing now. They keep making this place ever more densely populated. And tell us otherwise. So I just got your comment there, Drew. That's funny. I've had throughout my days. So Drew of New York says, I have so many insignificant and mind-numbing conversations throughout my days. It's tough, man. I've done a great job of isolating myself. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We are, but I think it leads somewhere. I guess I wanted the timbre of this message. Hey, I like the forest reference, but I wanted the tone of this message to be that it is very tough, and I cannot claim that I'm a made kind of guy in the way that I've got all of my ducks in a row and so on. I haven't been doing this for long enough to have extricated myself sufficiently from this, but I am getting myself to a place where emotionally I'm more and more certain in my faith that this has happened to us, to you, for a reason, and not because you're nuts, not because you're you've misunderstood the information that you've been given. He's just conversing with a tree there. Did I hope I caught him there. Yeah, hello. Ricardo. Hi. Yeah. Hello, mate. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, that's it. We I mean, I remember learning, of course, like we possibly all did. I mean, I know I've said this before, but for me, I saw flat Earth in the Bible as a teenager, young teenager, and I was arguing with my priest about that. Hey, let me just pick you up over here, Elizondo, because the floor is wet. Your socks look a bit wet. I think we should change them. We'll change them in a second. Come here. Yeah, I saw the flat Earth in the Bible, so I was on. Not that I bought into it. I'm just saying it was suitable for me to see it there because I didn't really want to go for the Bible. I was being programmed into the religion of science. Yeah, let's change your socks. Okay, I'm just gonna put the phone down a second while we change his socks. Because these ones got a little bit wet while we were walking through the forest, didn't they? You see my friends there? Yeah. Hello, friends. We're just changing socks. We were talking about how we are... I dropped that. Okay, I'll get it.
Yes.
I got it. Fresh socks. Careful we don't fall forward. That's it. There you go. Okay. Hey, sorry about the interruption in service. If you were watching this after the time, you can just fast forward that, I'm sure. And I sort of lost my thread while I was doing the sock. We were programmed into. That's what I was saying. Okay, so we were programmed into a belief system, and along the. Hey, no, off the road. Good boy. That's a good boy. This is a quiet road, but still, we've got to have some rules to keep us safe. Certainly at this age, while we're still babies, you know, and we don't have the road smarts. Once you're an adult and you know how to, or once you've grown up and you know how to think, you can cross the road when you know it's safe. You can look around and you can discern for yourself whether there's a break in the traffic such that you can cross a road. I wouldn't recommend it on a motorway, of course. I've actually seen someone more than once hit by a car. Wow, I won't go into that story. Well, one in particular, which was pretty gruesome. That was after a long night clubbing in Durban. Anyway, we've been programmed into thinking about how it's dumb to think that the earth is flat and that people have already gone over that and so on. So all that kind of depth of programming, they knew that from amongst the people they were programming then and now, there was going to come a cohort of those who could quite quickly or easily set that programming to one side. And then from amongst that group of small group of people, there would be those who could not only set that aside, but carry on looking deeper into the occult meaning about our purpose here and why some entity might have gone to such extreme, incredibly clever, total lengths to bamboozle the entire system. And I guess I'm getting to that point that I'm hopeful that I happen to be among that group, and that, you know, the people I'm talking to are among that group. Not that it kind of, you know, ultimately I realize that it's, you know, it's probably not like a finish line in the way that we've been programmed to think of finish lines. You know, I would imagine it's more like an ongoing squirrel. Let's have a look if we can see the squirrel up in a tree. He spotted it, not me. There it is. There it is. Yes, squirrel. See that? Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly what we're out for. Yeah, you can see the squirrel. You're talking to it, or you're talking about the birds as well. This is really very exciting stuff. Yeah. Should we cross the road and go and talk to the trees? These are some beautiful trees. These belong to the original forest that was here before they turned this all into a housing prison complex. This is obviously more open prison than some people live in the city, because they've made these slaves pay more and more taxes or work in those jobs that are more suitable to the system. Or for those who are just, you know, good at making their way. Really? What'd you see? More squirrels? Dude with dog trying to find the turd. I wouldn't worry about it, mate. It's only going to evaporate. Yeah. It'll feed the foxes. People are so worried about their turd being on the grass, you see. So they spend hours like turd patrolling their dog. We live in a funny world. Funny world. You know, some dog owners are so like insane about their dog. Their dog is more important than humans. And then of course, you know, if you belong to a club, your fellow club members are more important than the other club members. No, not to mention the Jews, or the Muslims, or the Christians and their various denominations, and the Sikhs, and the this and the that. Come on, humanity. We need to do much better than that. Two. So we have to know that there is, my friends, a wondrous purpose to us being here, you know, and for anyone who was feeling like, fuck, I can't make this anymore, I've been there, and I'm not saying I'm through that either, because some days it just feels like, how am I going to see my way through this? But it says in the Bible, and it says and I think I was trying to reference it about 15 minutes ago, but it says in the Bible that we are going to be shunned and ridiculed, you know, that's the kind of, that's part of the package. But then we don't, if I went back to Speaker's Corner every Sunday for the rest of my life, all I would do is fight a troll army of pre-programmed, you know, heliocentrists. Yeah, those are very pretty. Very pretty. Look how gently and softly we are with the plants, flowers. Clever boy. That's very soft and gentle. Yeah, so you know, what are we gonna doing, Dave Zoom Truth? You know, we getting a posse together and gonna go and meet Agent Smith. A flower. Go and meet Agent Smith at his gate. Can't see how violence begetting violence is the solution. I can't see that. If this is a place of vibration, it's all vibrating, friends. It's all just. In fact, I had a mini, like, DMT experience just yesterday. Like, I stood up. I've been a bit physical with Alexander and stuff, and trampoline and walking and what have you. And I'd sat down for a little while, and then I'd been sitting in the car for a while as well, a couple of hours in the car, and yeah. That for me? Sniffing your flower. Yeah, I'm a clever boy. Yeah. I stood up and stretched and had the zing like the DMT, and I stopped it from developing anymore. I think it might have developed more, but I was like, whoa, I'm standing here in the kitchen. I can't allow that to happen. The point is that this is all a wave system. It's just a wave of vibration, but it's a love vibration, and that's what I saw in the DMT, as I've said before. It's a love vibration, and we have to reharmonize with that love vibration. I think that's it. If you think about what this system is trying to do, it is constantly trying to get you in conflict. It doesn't care what conflict. It doesn't care. It simply wants you in conflict. Look, this little boy is trying to get on this wall, which is way too thin. Let me help you, okay? Where are you trying to get to? Hello, boys. You want to talk to the flowers? Yes, you can see why the authorities get called in every now and again, eh? Look at this rascal. I mean, you know, vandalizing the local gardens. You know, if I was an old lady and I saw it, I'm sure most old ladies probably would see this scene and go, wow, that's lovely to see, you know, a young child interested in the flora. It's a good start for any child to think that this is their natural, you know. Actually, if I take him to the play park area where there's swings, slides and stuff, and forest and the river, he's much happier at the river, for sure, you know. He won't be interested in the slides. And it's all a vibration. you know, it's all a love vibration and good vibrations, and love me do. I think that it feels like that, and I think that's what I wanted to share with you today. All right, mate. All right, thanks. How are you? Bum 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 bum. Welcome. He just said you're welcome. He loves popping these little red berries. He'll stand there for a minute and pop a few red berries. It's a love thing, and I've been through all kinds of hateful things, angry things, violent things in my lifetime. I'm not a particularly violent person, but you know, things that happened in my lifetime brought certain degrees of violence to me. Aside from the war, I ended up working for about a year and a half in a couple of Cape Town nightclubs, and they were very violent places. Very violent. Very violent. More violent than you would get away with today, you know, by many factors. You know, the police would shut clubs down that were as violent as the particular one that I was involved in. But I got stabbed in the stomach one time, bitten by a guard dog in the arm. I was only thinking about that yesterday because Alexander had a dog kind of had to have a little snap near his arm. You know, it was a bit unfortunate, but I guess my point is that I've encountered violence and that kind of stuff, you know, that man, that may over masculinized world stuff. And I know that's going on still, in fact, and in some places way worse, the violence, for sure. I think about, you know, we in the sort of flat earth or the truth community are sort of happily going along, kumbaya, my lord, and all that, and yet, you know, there's the, you know, the mafioso, whether it be like the Italian type we're told about, or other types of mafia, if you get the idea, going on and doing their kind of thing. They're doing what they do all the while, you know. And then of course there's the government going on doing all it's doing, and enabling the corporations to take. Three old ladies getting excited about Alexander. I assume it's Alexander. And you know, this is all, this machine is chuntering on while we kumbaya. So I'm not naive to say that I think that all we need to do is sing hallelujah and all that, and you know, it's going to change the way of the world. But the reason we're here is to change ourselves. Perhaps that's more important. Perhaps in time's not a real thing, but you know, in the future, in evolutions of this kind of reality, then you know, all the gangs and the groupings and the mafias and so on, all of that eventually doesn't have a place, or you know, if that's a possible reality. But you know, they're so big, they're so vast, they're so total that it would seem, other than some kind of flood type event, then all of these machineries are going to keep on turning, and they'll keep on turning whilst and babies will keep on be churned out, and you know, the choice is, do you bring them up to learn what the system is and learn how to meet it and face it and change it? Yeah. All different from what we was kind of, you know, our parents brought us up to simply go along with it. Certainly that was my experience. And again, let me just reinforce, I'm not saying that it's either a case of going along with it or fighting it. You're going, screw the system, or we're going to screw the system, and we're going to picket against its chemtrailing, and picket against its banking, and picket against its this and that, its education lies, and so on. Or I don't know that that's. Again, if I was proven wrong in time, I'm more than happy. There's plenty of things that I've been wrong about, and am probably holding still to this day that I'm wrong about. But this seems to me to be the path, is the middle way, the neutral path of love. If you saw a little bit of my presentation, it got a little bit harpooned, but I'll maybe do it again sometime. A presentation on how at the center of all of this is like this love energy that rides it. You got the negative, you got the positive, and in the center of it you got this love energy, this heart energy, the green expanded heart energy, earth heart connection, right? And it's this that we should, this neutral place is what we should find, not the over feminized, not the over masculinized, not the over hot, not the over cold, but the neutral place in between, the love place in between. And that seems to me to be the biggest thing that I can affect. Haranguing people who can't see. I'm not sure that's for me. And again, to be like a one-trick pony, or just like, okay, well, I'm going to take this little segment to the forest. These 20 truths are going to be my truths, and I'm going to go and push these around to people and so on. I'm encouraging you to see the whole forest, my friends. See the whole forest of truth and try and find the mansion in the middle. And that mansion in the middle, I think, is your heart and your love and your vibration, your good vibration, and putting that out into the world, your good vibration. That's how you make a change. I've said this before, that Michael Jackson did say a few things that are worth hanging on to. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. It's all love, it's all meant. You are definitely a unique and important soul, and you're here for a reason. Continue doing that work inward, and I hope you have a super day. Maybe I should say, not be rude and say thanks for coming by. Drew, hi. Hi, Nicholas. Oh, you were just in and out. That's nice to see you in Voynich. Thanks for coming by. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the movie. Breaking the Fiction. Started actually learning how the world works. 44. Better late than never, yes, brother. It's cool, man. Hey, Chris. I'm not gonna belabor this. Peter Perrett Wallace, the flat earth is meant to point to the one who created it. Certainly, for me, it was like a huge change in my psyche. The flat earth thing. Actually, I have to say, I was quite excited when I found it. In a way, I was excited. I mean, in a way, it was terrifying, but also quite exciting, because it was like, shit, this makes me realize, see something that a whole lot of stuff made more sense. A whole lot of reasons why I hadn't fit in so well. Probably true for you too. And not you necessarily specifically, but some of you. That the flat earth. You see, it's more to do with how the ball earth is designed to kind of minimize and belittle and rob you of the truth of what and who you are, or we are, and this is. That's what the ball earth does, you see, and it also more happily puts you on that kind of greasy hamster wheel to a career. You're more willing to kind of go along with all that crap. and value yourself. And I have to say, I used to ask people, oh, so when I met them, oh, so what do you do? You know, like the first point of reference to someone is, what is your career title? You know, what is your job title? You know, what defines you? What work, should I say, defines you, rather than your humanity and, you know, your divine spiritual essence. Hey, Zizi, you've kind of stripped that tree bare a little bit. I think we should move on, don't you? You know, one old lady I know, she's like, oh, don't let him touch those, he'll poison himself. You know, this is the kind of fear porn that's put into the minds of us as children, and we pass that on to our children. Andrea suggested that we should start a vlog called Barefoot Baby, because, as some of you know, he's never worn shoes. Never. And I'd go so far as to saying you could even consider it to be cruel to put a child in shoes. We were taught when I was a child about how the Chinese or the Japanese wrapped their babies' feet in bandages to keep them small, and we were told how that was cruel. But putting a newborn or a 6-month-old baby's feet in shoes for 12 hours of a day is similar. You know, I know there are softer shoes, so it's not a cut and dried conversation. There are shoes that are not really shoes; they're more moccasins. You know, so it's not cut and dried. But you'll see lots of children. You know, they're less than a year old, and they're Nike trainers. They're mock Nike trainers and so on. And it's a rigid sole, and again, you know, these growing feet. 12 hours for them is a long time to be in a fixed, rigid position, rather than moving around and expressing themselves. And the toes, of course, need space to spread out naturally. So yeah, I mean, you know, no, we had all this difficulty with the police coming around and complaining about barefoot business, and you know, and of course, when we're out walking, we do get looks all the time. You know, even children will say, "Hey, look, he's not wearing shoes." Children already, and like, oh, they're already frightened about, oh my God, look, that child's not wearing shoes. I was thinking about it this morning. You know, he has stood on thorns, but he's never once cried about it. He's only gone, oh, and he'll stop and he'll lift his foot up, and then he'll take the thorn out and carry on. Or sometimes he's had a thorn and I've only noticed it like a few days later, and it's buried in his skin and it's going to have to push its own way out. It's you know, this is what nature intended. Okay, nature didn't intend for there to be broken glass, and of course we're mindful of that, and he knows what broken glass is, and I've taught him about that. So anyway, it's Sunday, and it's a beautiful day to be out with my baby boy. I want to probably give him a little bit more of my attention, and I thank you for yours. But you are divine, my friends, and whatever role you're to play, however deep we're to go on this journey, together or individually, I think it's all by design, and we're being taught faith, a thing that I never had. 5 years ago, I had no faith. I was faithless. I was atheist, and willing for there to be no God, and willing for there to be life on Mars, and imagining the possibility of potential other life. Yeah, lady gardening. Anyway, I should go now. It's been 50 minutes. Thank you.